Hey kids, we're live. I hope we are, because this is Guitar Quackery Live, the one and only live streaming guitar repair channel. How about that? Oh yeah, speaking of live streaming, I need to copy and paste this link. The link to this live stream, copy and paste, and send it to the customer. Okay, so paste and send. Whip. Okay, so our customer, the owner of this guitar, can join us. Our customer, my customer. Yeah, I'll be recrowning the frets on a Gibson SG that's outside on the workbench. So, perhaps you're watching me live, or perhaps you're watching a replay. Well, no, you're watching a replay because no one's watching live now. But if you join us later live, perhaps you watched the previous video live stream, which was, I just took a break. I was I was leveling the frets, and now I'm going to be recrowning them. So we had to reduce the fret height because they felt stubby. Okay, now they still feel stubby because they are kind of squarish, right? But now we need to recrown them so that they are more comfortable to play. I have a whole bunch of fret files, and it's a Gibson SG, right? I said that. And here we go. First, we are going to just mark off all the frets in red. I already cleaned all the frets off camera. Okay, you see, they're clean. So that I can mark them with a red marker. Okay, I use this little tool to make sure I don't put red marker all over the fingerboard. Okay. I used to not use anything, and let's say that I learned from my mistakes. Yeah, you get it on the fingerboard. Now, if it's ebony or rosewood, this is rosewood, you can clean it off. But if it's maple, you might have some issues. Okay. Let me put it this way. It takes less time to do this than to fix it. We are matching the fret height to another guitar that I recently worked on, which I believe might have been on a playlist as well, a PRS. I think it was. Yes, because I was doing something interesting. I was repairing a tuning machine knob. Okay, not to be confused with another playlist of a tuning machine knob repair on a Martin guitar. So I'm sure you know the difference between a Martin and a PRS. The Martin is, so that other guitar, that's a Martin, is a 0017. Not to be confused with 007. 0017. I'm not sure if there's a guitar 007, but there is a 007. Not in real life, but in fiction. Or maybe in real life, I don't know. Yeah, how would you know? If it's a secret agent, then we wouldn't know. So, okay, so we are going to be recrowning these frets. The customer was complaining that the frets feel stubby, chunky. Okay, so it's not comfortable to play up and down the fingerboard when the fingertips are hitting stubby frets. So I can understand that. Now we need to determine which file or files to use. Well, that depends, right, on the exact fret profile. So I'm going to start with this file just to see if I can remove material from the right spots. It seems to be promising. Now, this is a rough file, right? It's the Gurian half round file. I have another Gurian file, which is a quarter round file. That's a different file. So I think I'm going to start with this file. Just to hit the corners. And then do another pass with the StuMac file, one of them. I have 5 of them here. So I'll keep you posted. But a nice, sharp, high-quality file is what you need for the job, for sure. And keep cleaning the file. Because if it gets clogged up, it doesn't work as advertised. And then people leave bad reviews, like the file is dull. It's not dull, it's just clogged up. So you see, I don't even think about it, I just tap. It's a habit, like smoking. Or smoking, or I don't know. What else is a habit? Smoking, spitting, I guess. In Singapore, you get a ticket, by the way, if you spit in public. You can only spit in your sink in Singapore, legally. What other habits people have that they cannot control? Let's think about some. Let's think of some habits. Smoking, spitting, fidgeting, talking too loud, or some guys just hold their crutch, like they can't stop fiddling, or a pocket pull, when they put the hand in the pocket and they play pull in the pocket. Those aren't billiard balls, they're different balls. They can feel them through the pocket. That's a habit. Not a good habit. They think that people don't notice, but people do notice. Oh, I'm sorry if you're one of them. Well, with 8 billion people on the planet, and most of my audience being male, it is just statistically very likely that some people watching have this habit. So I don't mean to offend, but if you do have this habit, kick the habit. Oh, I don't have this habit. I have a habit of, I have some habits. Staying up too late is one of my habits. Showing up late for work. Almost every first appointment that I have on my calendar for here, which always starts at 4 p.m. I don't even book appointments before 4 p.m. So almost every one of them. I show up late for almost every one of them. Not every one of them, but you know. And then I text the customer, hey, I'm running late. Da, da, da. Oh, no problem. It's like, and then if it is a problem, then they drop off the guitar over here. Look. Over here at the reception. And then we deal with it. So I used to have a habit of answering the question, when will my guitar be ready? And I kicked that habit. It was a bad habit. You can guess why. So now I have, instead of a habit, I have a policy. It's right there, written. So here you can't see it, but there's a sign right here. You know, I can show you from the other angle where the sign is. The sign is right here. This is the sign. Okay? And this is what the sign says. Okay? So, yeah. So now, that's the policy. And sometimes, you know, and it's right there. People see it right in your face. And then people say, I know that you don't commit to turnaround times, but, and I already know where they're going with this. But do you have like an idea how long it's going to take? No. But roughly, I don't know. Well, is it going to take 2 weeks or 2 months? I don't know. So, I have friends all over the world. So we are part of this group called, it's on Patreon, you should check it, if you are in this business, the Loot Group. So, so yeah, let me tell you about this. This is something that Ian Davlin, a super great repair tech luthier from New Jersey, not far from here, started during the pandemic, during the lockdown period, so that people could socialize and kind of work on guitars and socialize. And it turned into a business for him. So now it's officially the Luth Group, Luth as in luthier, L-O-O-T-H, Luth. And when you have a membership, which is a paid thing, you can log on to this 24/7 Zoom call. So I don't know how he does that technically, but you can just log on and why am I talking about this? Yeah, we're talking about turnaround times. Okay. Because I need to connect it back to the first a rant, not a conversation, right? I'm just ranting. So so as part of the being a member, you have access to the loot along, and this is just a bunch of people, a bunch of us from all over the world, just talking to each other as we work. Now, I haven't been doing much of that lately because I've been streaming so much, right? But, you know, I logged on today twice already, and we talk to each other. So now, back to the turnaround time thing. So it's like an inside joke amongst people in this business that we don't like to talk about turnaround times. In fact, in the violin repair business, you don't talk about turnaround times. You drop off your violin and, you know, you'll get a call when it's ready. Why should it be any different in this business? I don't know. So there are some members in California. So actually, this is tragic. Yeah, I want to make it sound like it's funny. It isn't funny, but it's true. It really happened. So you know there were fires in LA, right? Was it just in January or was it also in February? So this guy who's a member, he was holding on to a few guitars because he couldn't finish on time. And you already see where this is going. So the customer's house burned down. And the only reason why he could get his guitars, these guitars back, was because this guy, this luthier, repair technician, couldn't finish on time. So that's what happened. It's tragic, and you know, there's like a silver lining to that one story. So yeah, so it's not always bad if you can't get your guitar back on time, whatever that means. So most people have more than one guitar. And so yes, this is one sign here, but there's another sign right here. I want to show this sign. So people see this sign, we don't commit to any turnaround times, and this is also an important sign. Right? So it's right here. There's no such thing. Because for me to make things happen, look at this. It's already like almost 11 p.m. now. Sometimes I go to bed at 5 a.m. As it is. So, because I'm a workaholic. So, you know, I like to tell my customers, you'll get your guitar back, just, you know, just give it the time. Rome was not built overnight. That's an old Chinese proverb. And this guitar also can't be fixed overnight. It's been here for a month already, waiting. And I have another guitar from the same customer, also waiting. But we did the paperwork after this one, so this one gets worked on first. The other one is a Telecaster or a Strat, something like that. Fender style guitar, or maybe it's a Fender, I don't know. I think. I'm speaking from memory now, and my memory isn't that great anymore. This feels better, and here they feel stubby. That's to be expected. But this is just the first pass, okay? I really want to reshape these frets to be nice and round. Another reason, well, so you need to clean the file so that it doesn't get clogged up, because then it doesn't cut as it should. Okay, that's one reason. There's another reason. I marked off the frets in red, and if you don't clean the file, the little shavings accumulate between the file and the top of the crown, and then they scratch off the red marker, and it gives you the illusion that you started filing the top. And even it tricks the two edges of the pinstripe. So you need to end up with a really slim pinstripe. So when you have all these shavings between the file and the fret, they are going to be scratching off the red marker. So you need to work with a clean file. I'm going back a little bit to touch up these frets. I need them to look uniformed. That's the 9th fret right now. So, in the previous live stream, just an hour ago, I was mentioning that Moody's downgraded Fender down to a B3 rating from where they used to be at B2. And that's not good. And that's because of the increased operating costs projected, right, for 2025. And according to the article, mainly due to tariffs. Because tariffs are paid by, they're not paid by the country that's exporting. No, they're paid by the person or the company that wants to bring the goods into the country. Whether or not they bought the goods or they got them for free or whatever, right? But, you know, they pay this tax based on the value of those goods in order to be allowed to bring them into the country, right? So we used to have that in Europe before the EU, everywhere, I think, which is why when I was little, we would, you know, always, you know, hide things in the car when crossing the border. The adults in the car, I was just a kid. So, so that my parents wouldn't pay the, I don't recall that it was called a tariff, but a duty or, you know, customs tax or import tax, whatever. It's paid by the person or company, entity, importing the goods. So now, Fender's operating costs will go up. And that puts them at a higher risk of default. What that means is that at a higher risk that they won't be able to pay off their debts. Because how do you, a factory doesn't just show up out of nowhere, right? It's kind of like a house. If you want to buy a house, most people will take a mortgage. So now you need to pay off your mortgage. So it's the same with the manufacturing facilities, right? How do they pay for all the machines and all that, right? Well, they get loans. And they get approved based on finances and this and that. And a smaller company becomes a bigger company. They get more in debt. That's how they grow. But then everything changes over time. This fret doesn't look good yet. And the other thing is that the dollar is strong. So that's not only good, right? That's also presents some challenges for US manufacturers who want to export, because US goods become more expensive to buy abroad. So then distributors, etc., they might, you know, reduce the volume a bit because they feel that I'm kind of speculating here that you know, people won't be buying as much if things are expensive. So now, because of the higher operating costs, they need to adjust the cost of the goods that they're selling, the cost to the dealers and distributors, I guess. So they need to jack up the prices a little bit so that they can pay back their loans. But by jacking up the prices, you know, it makes it a little more difficult to sell. So I watched some economists on YouTube talk about this, right? I can't remember exactly which channels. If I knew, I would put links, but that's basically what it is, right? So they weren't talking about Fender, they were talking about in general, right? So so now someone needs to swallow the you know, the costs of the, in this case, tariffs. Either you raise the price of the retail price of the, you know, whatever you're selling, or you just, if you're a dealer, maybe you decide to work with a smaller margin. So let's say that you buy something for $100 and you've been selling it for $200, okay? But now there's a tariff on that $100, okay? Because you're importing something for $100, you know, that a value, right? So now you paid $10. So you could just say, well, I will just, you know, work with a smaller margin, and I'll pay that $10 just so that I can keep my price tag at $200, which we all know is really $199, so that I don't need to raise the price tag to $210, which would be $209.99, yeah? So, because I want people to keep buying. So, yeah, so Fender, you know, obviously they have a factory in Mexico. So they're importing stuff from Mexico to sell here. I guess when they just export from Mexico to Europe or wherever, the tariffs will not affect that. I don't see how, right? But the strong dollar still does. Because I guess they do all their calculations in dollars, not in pesos. I don't know. I'm speculating a little bit. So what the article said is they went from B2 to B3 down to B3. And the article also said that the B3 rating was based on the brand's strong brand name recognition. So that sounds like if they were rating it based on financials alone, it would have been an even lower rating than B3. So that's not good. So because Fender is a legacy brand, I kind of hinted in the video that I posted on the main channel that you know, if they file for Chapter 11, etc., and if they can no longer manage to pay back the debts, it might be an attractive company for foreign investors to purchase and to own Fender. And in my video, I said, you know, just like Marshall was just bought by another company, and obviously it was bought by a Chinese company because that's where all of the money is, I guess. And you know, if they can fix the finances of the company by restructuring and doing better business. I guess that's what it is. And I wonder if, well, I wonder how likely it is for that same thing to, this is a text message from the owner here. How likely is it for the same thing to happen to Fender? I don't know. That it might be bought by a Chinese company. And just out of curiosity, I Googled Gibson's Moody's rating. Well, it's lower than Fender's. So, and Gibson doesn't have a plan that I know of. So, I don't know what will happen. We'll see. But if the same thing happens to Gibson and Fender that happened to Marshall, I wouldn't be surprised at all. We'll see. Apple has a great rating. I mean, if Google showed me the right results, it's an A rating. I think it was like the top. So now pretty much people need computers and phones and tablets. That's how it is. You can't live without them. Like you need underwear. But people don't need guitars, especially if they already have a few guitars at home. Yeah, they want another one, this and that model. But yeah, let's see how Fender comes out of it. I hope they come out of it. Not a very rosy forecast with the Indonesian line of Fender guitars, I'm afraid. Yeah, people aren't loving them. I'm going to review one. I already reviewed one. I reviewed a Tele, and there were some issues. You can watch the review on the main channel. And I bought a Strat. So I had to return the Tele. I actually wanted to just have one as a, not that I need another guitar, but someone got me excited. Like also a friend that's a guitar player and wanted to have one, and so I bought a Tele, and it's not good. So I had to return it. So let me feel this. Well, this is already better, I hope. And if not, then we'll have to redo it. So a few guitar channels talked about tariffs and Fender and this and that. I remember watching Guitar Max. I like that channel, Guitar Max. He said that Fender did a good move with the Indonesia thing, and that somehow he put it that the tariffs are going to benefit Fender because of that. And, you know, I didn't want to post a comment on that video. That was a few weeks ago. Yeah, I don't think so. It's highly speculative. In fact, that's what the B3 rating is. It's labeled as highly speculative. So I guess we can speculate. We're free to speculate. But I speculate that the Indonesian Fender move isn't going to be a great thing for Fender, unless they make some changes, which they can, and they should, before it's too late. Change camera angles, just because. So, 2, 4, 6 more frets with this file, and then we change files. Now we have this situation here with the 2 horns. So a level crown and polish job isn't always the same. On this one, well, we had to remove a relatively substantial amount of material, relatively speaking, yeah. To reduce the fret height, which is what the customer wanted. So the more you flatten the frets, which they looked pretty flat after leveling, the more crowning, recrowning, and the longer it takes then. So frets are not magnetic. I have the pickup here, but I still don't want the shavings to fall on it, even if the pole pieces or the magnets aren't attracting the shavings. So I'm going to put it right here. But it's not like steel wool. It's not going to get trapped around the pole pieces. I wonder how many tons of metal shavings I've removed in my career. because you can definitely see them here all over the equipment. And every now and then I need to vacuum this. They're everywhere now. So my phone just sent me a bedtime reminder. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm gonna finish this tonight. Everything always takes me a bit longer. Three more. Yeah, so these three feel different than these, but I'm not done with them yet, right? So let's hope. I was approached by a company that wanted to do what they called collaboration. All right, so I said, okay, what do you have in mind? And they said they want to send me products that, you know, that would fit my channel and my viewers would love them, da-da-da. And I replied by saying, well, you know, I only have 5,000 subscribers, not on this channel, on the main channel, right? And I don't know if it's going to be cost effective for you to pay me to do these videos, because I can't get you the views. And I said, because I do high quality content, and you know, on average it takes me 3 days to make a video. And then I said, unless you have a budget for a 3-day production. And they replied saying something that, well, what would I suggest? You know, what, something like this. What would I suggest? What ideas do I have? And I replied and I said, well, you know, I don't have any ideas because you contacted me, right? With a proposal, and I still don't know what the proposal is, right? So, so I said, I don't think at this time, you know, it's going to make sense for you to finance a sponsored video for a channel that only has 5,000 subscribers. And then I gave them a price, what it would take to produce a video with a product review, product placement, and all that. So that was high. I mean, they got to pay me for 3 days of not working here, just working on a video, right? So this is not the same as when I do a video for myself. This is to promote a product that they want to sell. So, and then I said the only other option is if you just want to be mentioned, but without showing a product, that you are sponsoring my videos. And that I said I would charge by the per view, right? So you can Google that, how much creators charge per view, you know, to have a sponsor mentioned in the video. Between $20 to $70 per 1,000 views. So I told him 70, and I told him, or 50 if I don't give you a guarantee of how many views, right? For the first month. And, you know, that's small change, better than nothing. But all I would do is mention that they sponsored the video and say that there's a link in the description to their website where you can buy their products. And I said it would be a 30-second mention of them, right? So, but I'd have to see the products first. Now, with the exception of one channel, I checked out who else is reviewing their products, and they were all small channels. And $2,000 subscribers to 10,000 subscribers, something like that. And most of them below 10,000. So, this frets still a little bit. And those creators, they were, you know, kind of very excited to have gotten a product for free so they can make a video. That's what it sounded like. They didn't even pay them. So I'm not doing that. They also have to understand that they don't know if I'm going to like the product. I'm not going to say that the product is good if I don't think it's good. Or products. Okay, so done with this file. And now let's pick the next file. Let me see. I think this one. Yeah, I think so. So hopefully this won't take quite as long. Okay, I like what this file is doing. I think it's got the right radius for this. So not that it matters, but it is the StuMac 4490 file. It's got a narrow and medium size, and the medium size is the one that I'm using. So I have a red dot here. It's got to be facing the other way. That's how I know I'm using the right size. Change the camera again. And the file feels nice and sharp, again, because I keep cleaning it. And I like the feel of this already. And I'm not done yet, but I think this feels good. Now, before I forget, I need to check, let me finish this one fret, my computer battery power. Because it's running on battery. Okay, so I'm done with this file. And I'm done with this. Okay, let's check battery power. Okay, we're still good. Oh, lots of comments. 5 people watching. So this channel isn't really popular, right? But and that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to put live streams on my main channel, because I don't think this is a good type of content for most people, and especially not for people who have subscribed to my regular channel. They haven't subscribed to this type of content. So yeah, what's my battery status here? 23%. Okay. When recrowning a defective guitar, you should use the Rockford files. Yeah, and I was just checking some other file as well, and I wrote to the company. What is it called? It's a Swiss file, whatever. And they wrote back to me, but not with the information I wanted. So they didn't really answer my question. My question was simple. So they have files labeled as, I think, grit, this grit or that grit. And I asked them a very simple question. How many teeth per centimeter or per inch, whatever they want to tell me, does each grit have? So, and I just got a very generic answer to some chart or something like that. So it's, yeah, they look like good files, but they're very expensive. And I want to know which grits to buy for my needs. And those aren't files for luthiers for guitars, but they look like really good files for fret ends. Oh, yeah. And I still have that little very thin pinstripe in the middle. This feels just right for me. I want to buy those Swiss files. But like I said, they're really expensive. And because they're worth it, obviously. And I want to know which grit or grits to buy first. I want to have all of them because I really like files. But what else can we talk about? How can we make this channel more popular? Does it need to be more popular? I don't know. I need 1,000 subscribers. I do have good viewing hours per subscriber ratio, right? So I'm not worried about not being able to hit the 4,000 viewing hours to get monetized fully for ad revenue. But I do need 1,000 subscribers. So that's when I can play ads on the replays of the live streams. I don't know if they play ads already, because Google sometimes plays ads, but they don't give you any money. And that's silly. Not Google, YouTube, which is Google. Same thing. So if you're going to be playing ads, I should get the money. I mean, they still get their cut, but they keep all of it. If I don't have 1,000 subscribers and if I don't have 4,000 viewing hours minimum. People watch all kinds of live streams. Sometimes people practice guitar and they just start streaming every time they practice and they have viewers. A guitar practice live stream. I don't think I would ever do that. Okay. I want that red marker's line to be really super, super thin. That's how I know that I'm getting, you know, that I'm removing material off the shoulders, that I'm getting a good crown. And I want them to look uniformed. This is why I'm going back and forth. And just checking. try. Also, it's important not to overheat the frets. I mean, they're not getting hot. And I'm saying if some people are too aggressive with the files, and you know, they overheat the frets a little bit, so they can start to wiggle, or they move a little bit, they shift. A black machine is good at doing that, overheating the frets. Depends on the operator, because it's quite aggressive. It does the crowning and leveling at the same time, like a rotating disc. Zik. Yeah, it depends how much material it's removing and in how many passes. This is why I see a lot of plecked guitars come out with uneven frets. So if the machine is running too hot, removing too much material in one pass, the rotating disc overheats the fret, and then if it's slightly, you know, over radius, then installed with, you know, a little bit of a, what you call it, tension, that's it, yeah. So even if it's glued in, like tension, and then it just flexes because maybe the heat melts the glue a little bit or softens the glue a little bit. And yeah, so you run the pleck machine. It tells you it leveled off everything at the same level, but then some frets just kind of flex. So yeah, I wouldn't count on the pleck machine just doing what it supposedly is supposed to do. It's a great machine, right? But it's how you run it. So I'm working off of my memory, like the impression I had when I started. So the frets were really stubby. This is why we're doing this. Now I believe they feel good. So because they weren't flat on top. They were just you can't get the same radius that you can get on a wide fret, on a slim fret, as you can get on a wide fret, obviously. So we had to lower them to get the radius that we saw, that we to match it to the other guitar that has wider frets. Slightly. 11th fret, feels good. So yeah, I can feel the difference. Also here it's going to feel different, obviously, because the frets are closer together. Change the camera again. I'm working on the 12th fret. I did protect the nut with 6 layers of tape this time. So, and I can remove this now. I'm just going to keep it on the nut, but not wrapped around, because this is a nitro finish. So we don't want to keep tape on nitro for too long. It feels good to me. And you know, with these nibs, the fret ends also feel very good. I am rounding off the actual ends to match that Gibson style fret nib business, how it blends into the fret nib. See, now you know why my right arm is more developed than my left arm. Professional hazard. Maybe I should work with my left. I don't know if you can hear the banging steam pipes, the heat pipes. Drives everybody nuts here. And this building, they run heat non-stop all night long. It's a commercial building. People leave except me. I know, at the end of the workday. And I never understand these companies. They're just burning money, that's it. So we were talking about Fender and their operating costs. Well, here, they're just burning money. They just keep running the heat all night when no one's here. There's not even a thermostat anywhere in the building. It's just regulated by either a timer that runs these cycles, or maybe some kind of gauge on the actual boiler. But the boiler doesn't know the temperature in the building. And sometimes it's so hot here. People who work here run the AC, 2 of them. fortunately, the storage room where I keep the guitars isn't heated at all. But I have a dehumidifier and a humidifier there, so depending on the need, I can run one or the other. So humidity control. But the room itself is nice and cool. So. Oh yeah, this feels good. I want to make a video about guitar shop tools for the main channel, like what tools you need to start this kind of business. What's the minimum? And which ones? So one thing for sure, don't buy tools from AliExpress. I bought one fret file from AliExpress once, just because I was curious. A crowning file. It went straight in the bin. Complete junk. Because I like files, right? And I thought, it's cheap. Maybe it'll serve a purpose somehow. Nah. Okay, 2, 4, 5 more frets after this one. Two, 4, 5, yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm matching visually the pinstripe to the adjacent one, to the one I previously worked on, and then I sometimes go back. So like right now, there's only this spot because the fret is curved, right? So now I just need to hit that middle spot a little more. Because, you know, the hand isn't going to be consistent throughout the entire fret. So I guess, you know, just like a piano tuner, you need to know what to look for or what to listen for and, you know, fine tune. It's almost midnight. Today's Saturday. Okay, 4 more. I'm going to start another channel, Guitar Quackery channel, called Guitar Quackery Business. It's going to be good for those who want to work in this business. So I'm going to keep it separate from the main channel and separate from this channel, because it's kind of its own separate thing. And I already started recording some intros for the videos. So maybe I should start recording the content, because what am I waiting for? Well, I'm kind of busy. Because, you know, people who signed up to my main channel, they don't necessarily want to know about the business side of it. They just want to know how to take care of guitars, you know, maybe tinker, you know, or just maybe kind of watch me work on guitars. But the whole business side of it is something different for a different audience, I think. So from this side, I can hit that part of the radius more because, you know, it was close to the horn. I couldn't really do it. Okay. I think we're good. So this feels much better, I think. I hope. Okay, so recrowning is done, I think. I don't think it's gonna make sense to do the diamond file, which would be this one, the Z file, because I'm going to be doing the Ken Parker method of polishing. Yeah, I don't think. Let me try a few frets, see what it does. Let me just do it. So speaking of sponsorships, you know, like that company was reaching out to me for collaboration. Yeah, so I reached out to some performing artists who aren't famous, but they are already established. Man, I never heard from their management, and I wanted to sponsor them. For one of them, I said, you know, I want to build a guitar. No answer at all. So, and I used the form on the website to send the message. I think a manager should at least write back and say, no, we're not interested. I checked my spam folder, everything. So, you know, when somebody approaches the management with, you know, a proposal, they really need to reply. That's the job. I don't even think that they told the artist. I might be wrong. I don't know. That's one of them. And the other one was like a small band kind of thing. Again, I never heard back. I said, I want to sponsor them. So just get back to me so we can discuss what I could do for them. No answer. No reply. Now, I would kind of understand if this was if these were famous artists, but they're not, right? They're just kind of established and getting established, you know. So and then there was another artist, solo artist, and I got on a call with the manager, and that just didn't go well. Feels good, I think. To me, it does. I can feel the difference between now and how it was Yeah, this was not a comfortable guitar to play because of the stubby frets. Now I think they're just the right height. If the customer keeps polishing and buffing, they're gonna last a long time. Or maybe he can just bring it here for me to buff and polish. I can do that. So polishing the frets is important because you want to keep them slippery. The more slippery, less friction. So that works to your advantage in many ways. Yeah, I think I'm going to put the guitar in the case. So with this recrowning, obviously I had to remove a lot more material from the two, angular shoulders of the fret crown because of the, substantial, or relatively speaking, amount of material that I removed from the tops. So, and then there's the fret ends. I need to blend them with the fret nibs. I was hoping I'd be done with the polishing and everything by now, but so this is a Z file that I'm using, and that's my old one, which is really worn. So I use it for the kind of finishing of the filing of the crowning. Pre-polishing. The other files I was using weren't diamond files. They were regular hardened steel files. I don't think diamond files should be used right away. Okay. And those few frets from this side. I know what this looks like from behind. It's not what it looks like. Okay, and it never hurts to double check with the fret rocker. Why don't we do that? And it never hurts to double check my battery level on my computer. Yeah. So my charger is on a timer. Look at all these comments. Wow, look at that. I can't read all of this. Sorry, guys. Okay. 7 watching, 3 likes. So 4 of you don't like it. Okay. I'll survive. Or maybe you just forgot to like. Well, you know, I'm not expecting to find any uneven frets since I did not overheat them, and I can see the little pinstripes. But it doesn't hurt to check. And I'll check like this as well. So I have a light source. There are 2 of them, right? And I move my head like this, left and right, so I see a reflection. And when I move my head, the reflection moves. And I want to make sure that, so that's one of the things I'm looking at, right? I want to make sure that the reflection on all of the frets moves in tandem, in sync, not like this. If it moves like this, it means you have wavy frets, which I can't possibly have, right? But you would have that if you hammer in the frets and you don't level them, or just kind of level a little bit, and then you polish them, right? Then they're highly polished, but uneven. Okay, I don't need this anymore. Now, okay. So this pickup goes here. Look at the long lead wire. Why do they keep it so long? Oh, this comes off. And I can put the guitar on the bench. And then I'll put it in the case. Oh, I have this here, look at that, from an old job, a previous job. How am I doing this? No, I'm doing this wrong, like this. Sorry. It's late, and I'm getting old. And my brain never functioned right to begin with. Okay. All right. What do I have on the bench? Nothing. Let me put the files away. I see all the glitter like this from the frets, metal. Okay. Okay, so let's put the files away. Let's put the guitar on the bench. So I got more work to do. Look, I need to polish the frets. Adjust the nut, do the setup. I'm not going to finish tonight. So there's no reason for me to just stay up late, unreasonably late. just to finish it, because there's no such thing as a guitar emergency, like my sign outside says. And this customer has read this sign many times. I think we even laughed about it, although I don't know what's funny about the sign. Nothing. It's the truth. Okay. I did show the sign in the previous live stream, but just because we're talking about it in this live stream, here it is. Right? So, that's right here. You can't miss it. And I hear people sometimes comment when they walk by, the people rehearsing here. Yeah, so they read that, they read this sign, which says that I don't commit to turnaround times. And if they want to talk to me, I already know that they're okay with this, right? Which is good. So let's remove So what's the word? We jig up the guitar? No, we unjig it? I don't know. Now this pickup is just placed here in the pickup cavity. There are no screws. I gotta remember that. Okay. Sorry. Okay. And here is the guitar. Coming in. We have it right here on the workbench. See, I remembered that the pickup was loose, so let's put the little screws back before I forget. At least two of them. Okay, the two diagonal screws. Yeah, the frets look good. I have, you know, a very narrow little pinstripes, right? That's good, you know. That's good. Yeah, I mean, here and there, it's sometimes you'll get, where's this? So you see the scratch marks from the files, but it feels like a good crown, okay? Where am I here, right? And that's those are the scratch marks. So you see how rough the fret is right now? So that's all going to be polished up. And we're going to do this next time. So it's too late. Okay. What else? This camera is here. Do I really need it inside now? I need to install another camera outside. All right, so I'm going to just put the screws back. Maybe clean the frets a little bit. Do I need to do that? Nah, nothing. That's fine. See, and I didn't even scratch the pickups. This little plate goes here. So now there's, you know, two types of SG guitars. The bat wing pickguard one. It has a different neck joint as well. It's like it's up to here, something like that. And yeah, I don't like that. I don't have an SG. They don't really feel comfortable for me. That's because on an SG, everything is shifted this way. So that's why also why the pickups are closer together, because everything is shifted a little bit. So to me, the way it hangs around the neck, I have to reach too far to play first position. And you know, I play Les Paul guitars, so this isn't in the same place in relation to my rib cage. So yeah, they don't feel good for me. I like the way they look, and I've been on and off wanting to buy one for years, and I will never have one. It's just the way it is. Yeah, because I can't really play them well, so it's a different. It's not a Les Paul, right? So it sounds different because the pickups are not in the same place. Yeah. Okay. Let's get all the little particles off. Just in case there's something here. Okay, my friends. Am I forgetting anything? Well, I need to clean up. So this is the tailpiece. The bridge is over there. I saved the old strings, so I hope to use them as sacrificial strings to cut the nut, because now the nut is going to be a little bit too high because I lower the frets. That's the bridge. Yeah, it was in this direction. We can check. So here it is. So if you zoom in on the saddle, you can see this is from a wound string. So this means that the bridge was in this direction with the screws accessible from the back. Not how I like it. Let me see. See, that's the problem now. To dial in the compensation, but also this, I'm going to have to talk to the customer. Does he want this tailpiece to be so high up? I don't know. Is there a reason? Sometimes there's a reason if the back of the string hits the bridge. So this isn't quite adjusted now, but more or less the right height for the bridge. So let me see. Yeah, I can access them. All right. I'm sure that's how they installed it at the factory. But we'll adjust the height of the tailpiece. It can go lower. Yeah, now I'm putting the string here across the saddle. This is too high. Okay, we'll know more when we actually tune the guitar, right? Whew. Okay, I'm tired, hungry, a bit, thirsty, horny, all of that, all of the above. Oh, which are more challenging to work on, Gibson or Fenders? Depends what work you're doing. So if you are doing a refret, well, on a Gibson you have the fret nibs to deal with. So I can show you from here, I guess, the fret nibs. Zoom in. Oh, that's zoomed in all the way. So these are the fret nibs. Little, you know, binding going up like this. So you don't have this on the Fender, but hold on a second. I want to sneeze. Yeah, thank you. But on the Fender, you might have a maple neck with finish on top of the frets. So how do you refret that? I can do a whole series of videos about that alone. So the most challenging guitars to work on are parts casters. Yeah, they can be a nightmare to work on. And right now I have one that I've been, you know, having issues with. Not really struggling, it's just, you know, it adds to the time. So I always seem to need to adjust my policy on parts casters. So I have to make another adjustment. Do Gibsons get fret sprouting? Yes. So let's say you have a Gibson Studio, Les Paul Studio. It doesn't have binding. You can get fret sprout, okay? If the guitar dries up, if the fingerboard was not dry enough. Now, on a guitar with binding, on a Gibson guitar with binding, you should check my video on the main channel, which is called something about Gibson fret nibs. So the main channel, again, is Guitar Quackery, not this channel called Guitar Quackery Live. So something about Gibson fret nibs. Let me check. So I'm on the main channel here, dashboard. let me go to my content and I'll show you which video to watch. Oh, here. Okay, let's see. Okay, so you see my phone here. Let's focus. Is it focused? Here, Gibson fret nib cracks. Now the title is Fret Nib Cracks on a Gibson Howard Roberts. This video here. That's the one. That's the thumbnail. Okay, so the fret sprout that you see on a Fender looks like it looks on a Fender because there's no binding on most Fender guitars, right? But on the Gibson with binding, you have other issues when you get fret sprout or other issues. It manifests itself differently. So you should check that out, that video. Will show you and explain some things. I have been watching both. I will check that out. Thank you. I watched your fret video on the Jazz Bass yesterday. Yes. I think you made a comment. Yeah, thank you for that. And if you really like the channel and you have friends who are into guitars and like to learn more about, you know, guitars, tell them about the channels. Or you can go on a guitar forum and tell everyone about your favorite videos on the channels. Because I want to make sure the channels grow so I can monetize it better. Because right now it's really actually costing me a lot to make all the videos. So I need to monetize better. Yeah. Okay, friends. Oh, no more water. I'm going to put this baby back in the case. This is going to go in the, let's see, the case is right here. Yeah, I'm not going to put the strings on. Okay, right here. Great. This and also the bridge, obviously. The guitar goes back in the case. And this is the trick that I do so I don't lose the truss rod cover. This is my own idea. I don't know if other people thought of it, but this is what I do. So I put both screws where they belong, and I keep the truss rod cover like this. So if I forget to put it back on, at least I didn't lose the screws, I didn't lose the truss rod cover. So if you work on other people's guitars, this is a good tip, I think, for you, so you don't lose the truss rod cover. I am going to clean the guitar a little bit. Here's my polishing cloth, just because, why not, before I put it in the case. It's nitro, so it's good to keep it clean. Sometimes nitro reacts to, you know, other chemicals. And when I say chemical, I mean also solids, right? Everything is a chemical. So here where I had the tape, for example, Got to make sure I clean it. There's no tape residue. I don't see any, but I just want to make sure there's no microscopic film of tape, of glue, basically, from the tape. Because I put a tape around the nut. Okay, that's it. Okay, cool. Also, when you carry a long guitar around, don't carry it like this. Carry it like this. Put the hand right here. This way, you don't bump it into door frames. Like this, you're more likely to bump it into a door frame, or if you carry a bass, especially, right? And obviously, you can carry it like this, but keep your hand close to the headstock. Okay. There you go. Goes in the case. That's it. I am done for the evening. So check out the other channel. All of you who are new to this channel, I guess. I don't know how many might be new to this channel watching this as we speak. The other channel is Guitar Quackery. I am tired, and like I said, other things as well. So I'm going to say goodnight. Your camera angles are amazing and extremely helpful. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I think you want to learn to do this, right? So yeah, so just subscribe to the channels. Get some, bad guitars on whatever, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, some junk guitars, start working on them. So, Grandpa Joe says good night, see you on the next one, and Dr. Jeffrey Boyle says good night. I have already learned a lot from you. I am subscribed to both of them. I know you are. Yeah, you already said that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. All right, friends. Thank you very much, all of you. Okay, hold on. Aficionado said something in all caps, so maybe it's important. Microscope. Okay, this is the second message, the first message. I think that you should consider putting up YouTube Shorts. Okay. Setups with before and after, with specs, measurements, action height, blah, blah, blah. Setup with microscope footage. YouTube Shorts with words popping up on the screen that say, learn the art of fixing guitars. Check out Guitar Quackery live streams. Subscribe for live stream notification. Yeah, so thank you for the idea. So I think I'm going to start a separate channel for the shorts. I've researched this a lot, actually, and some people say that shorts have hurt their channels because they get a whole bunch of subscribers very quickly, and those subscribers never watch their long-form videos. And the long-form videos are the, the evergreen videos that, are the important ones. So then you have a bad subscriber to viewing hour ratio. But I was thinking of starting a separate channel for shorts, and that way funnel people who actually want to watch long form videos and funnel them to the other channels. So I've been thinking about that. Yeah, but yeah, there's only so much time in the day, right? So exactly, most people have 90-second attention, not 90 seconds, less than 30 seconds. I see that when I look at my stats. Look at this. So the best performing video of all time was this one. Okay. Let me show you. the attention span of people. So it was the complete and utter garbage video. Okay. So here, this is it. This is the video. And now video performance, is that it? Okay, so this shows the performance. Now here, the little stripe at the bottom is my typical performance. So this one overperformed, right? But the audience retention, look, 70% of people just drop within the first 30 seconds. 30 seconds is like that little thing that's highlighted at the beginning, right? Boom. Okay, people just don't have the attention span. Now, you see this gray stripe at the bottom, right? Now, let's look at another video. Like, this one isn't... how about this one? Giveaway. How about this one? So now this one underperformed. So this gray stripe is the actual same gray stripe you saw on the one that overperformed. And the attention span, again, is here, right? Now let's look at another video. How about the Indonesian Fender Tele? This one. Okay, so it overperformed a little bit. You see that gray stripe again? That's that same gray stripe that you saw on that first video that I showed you. But here it's much thicker. And the blue line isn't that far away from it, right? But again, here, audience retention, attention span, boom. Okay, that's the attention span of, you know, the average audience, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. So you watched my videos for hours last night, okay. Oh, that graph illustrates clickbait. What do you mean? Ah, you learned the minute they took off. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Bad attention span or video not as advertised in thumbnail. No, it was. So there's a video that says, you know, like this one, Indonesian Fender Tele review, and I show it right away, and I say, this is what I'm doing. Nothing. So, yeah. Okay, but it is late, and you know, my workday ends after I clean up, so I still need to clean up everything. So that's going to take another half hour. And I thank you all for joining. Oh, look at that. 9 viewers, 9 likes. You see, that's what I like to see. Okay. And I'll talk to you soon, guys. Thank you. Bye.